Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Josh here, Oreo Express. It is still Wednesday, March 19th, and we're at 333 here on the left coast. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you have a great day. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button. Share this out, guys. We appreciate you. We can't do it without you. We're absolutely only here because of you, the viewers, and we want to say thank you for that. We got some folks in the chat already. We got Trina, hello. Susan in the house. Hunter, Nola, Pixie. Who else is coming in here? Old Uncle Bill. Old Uncle Bill's here. We usually can't start the show until old Uncle Bill gets here, so thank you. Cade Tex, hey, I'm glad you're in here. Cade, send me an email right now at oreoexpress@yahoo.com with your address and which hat you want, and I will reply with the code. I got all that fixed, but for some reason I couldn't find you in my email. I don't know if you've sent me anything, but we'll do it while we're live right now to make sure we get all that to you, and that has been increased to $100 for the oreoexpress.com/shop. KLM's in the house. Kimber's in the house. Thank you all for tuning in. We got a lot to talk about. We got an update too. We're going to be getting into about the CIA, the standoff outside the CIA that we brought to you earlier with some video and some live coverage of. We're going to go through that. We got one video I like. Christopher Steele just got called out by Natalie Winters on Pierce Morgan censored or uncensored or whatever it is. And it was just an absolute destroyed him. We're going to talk about, we actually had a judge rule in our favor for once, but it's not over because the Democrat Nazi Marxist machine will continue to fight that. So we'll talk about that and a whole lot of other things. I got that video I wanted to show you that we talked about in the earlier podcast about what Elon Musk said about 10 years from now when it comes to AI and the robots and everything else. And just a conversation I want to have with y'all. It should be concerning. Also got some Twitter updates, some arrests, and some suspensions from X. The same person that called on to kill Donald Trump. Once more stuff going on. Oh, did I pull that one up? No. So while we're here, let's see here. X. I got to pull one up really quick because it just wouldn't be right. I think I actually bookmarked it, so it'll be right here. But thanks again. Micro Taz is on time. Check that out. Let's see. Where did I put it? So many stories I got on here for Tesla's. Filling up my bookmark area. Let's see if that's it. All right, we're ready to go. So let's start off with the updates on the CIA hostage. And I'm just going to tell you, we got some photos and video of this guy. I am over 120% positive that this guy has slept in Pissant's little van. I'm almost positive. I mean, let's take a look at this guy from a distance, and then we'll get some other photos. Take a look at that guy. Just from that angle, and I know it's hard to see. It won't let me zoom in. I have to get another program for that. But when you look at that, and let me pull up the other one here. This is looks like the Daily Mail one or TikTok, one of the two. It takes me back to the 80s. It does. It kind of takes me back to the 80s. I'm not going to go as far as Guns N' Roses, but take a look at this dude. I mean, this would be Pissant's little boyfriend 100%. You cannot deny that. Like, this dude probably has a van or a motorhome with stuff painted on the side. And that's why I always tell you about Pissant, man. He is not mentally there. I think we got another picture. Anybody that like goes and does this stuff, but justice is coming for Pissant. Take a look at that right there. There he is again. He's got I don't know, his pants hiked up to his knees, wearing looks like what is a camo shirt, hair that hasn't been taken care of in probably a couple weeks. Um, So that person has now been arrested, probably going to a psych evaluation. Um, Crazy, crazy. Ben and Jerry's CEO David Stern was fired over his political activism with the company. Um, that's weird. That's one of the most woke companies in the world. They don't hide it. We've shown you guys some of their videos where they literally told people to get off stolen land, and Ben and Jerry's got called out for being on stolen land. I'll look into that really quick. Let's see. I wonder if his activism was something decent. Maybe that's why they fired him. Ben and Jerry says Unilever fired ice cream maker CEO over Unilever. So it says Ben and Jerry's says Unilever fired ice cream maker CEO over anti-Trump stance. I'm gonna have to read into that. Yeah, because look at they've had Kamala's coconut jubilee. They've been a staunch leftist, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Their ice creams in the grocery stores are crap. But when you're like on Pier 39 and you go to a Ben and Jerry's, like just like a Baskin Robbins where you go up and you get the scooped ice cream, it's not bad. It's pretty good, but we stopped going there. Let's see, Ben and Jerry's today. Look at this one. This has Ben and Jerry's in the past. This was on March 10th. Today is National Abortion Provider Appreciation Day. We stand with abortion providers today and every day. I mean, they've never hid it. They're very proud of their far left stuff. So here's Associated Press. So they have a parent company. Okay, that's what Unilever is. I couldn't figure that out. So it looks like Ben and Jerry alleges parent company Unilever removed its CEO over social activism. Let's pull up the Associated Press article. That's still fake news, but it'll give us, we can read it and we can kind of read between the lines. How about that? Ben & Jerry's says its CEO was unlawfully removed by its parent company, Unilever, in a retaliation for the ice cream maker's social and political activism. In a federal court filing late Tuesday, Ben & Jerry's said Unilever, let me get that off the screen, informed its board on March 3rd that it was removing and replacing Ben & Jerry's CEO, David Stever. Ben & Jerry's said that violated its merger agreement with Unilever, which states that any decision regarding a CEO's removal must come after a consultation with an advisory committee from Ben & Jerry's board. The Associated Press left a message seeking comment with the London-based Unilever on Wednesday. Unilever acquired Ben & Jerry's in 2000 for $326 million. At the time, Ben & Jerry's said its partnership would help the progressive Vermont-based ice cream company expand its social mission. But lately, the marriage hasn't been a happy one. In 2021, Ben & Jerry's announced it would stop serving Israeli settlements in the occupied West Bank and contested East Jerusalem. The following year, Unilever sold its Israeli business to a local company that said it would sell Ben & Jerry's under its Hebrew and Arabic name throughout Israel and the West Bank. Last May, Unilever said it was planning to spin off its ice cream business, including Ben & Jerry's, by the end of 2025 as a part of a larger restructuring. Unilever also owns personal hygiene brands like Dove soap and food brands like Hellmann's. Says, but the acrimony continued. In November, Ben & Jerry's sued Unilever in federal court in New York, accusing it of silencing Ben & Jerry's statements in support of Palestinians in the Gaza war. In its complaint, Ben & Jerry's said Unilever also refused to let the company release social media posts that identified issues it believed would be challenging during President Donald Trump's second term, including minimum wage, universal health care, abortion, and climate change. Why nobody should ever eat Ben & Jerry's. Tuesday filing was an amendment to the lawsuit. So what you have here from what I'm reading, and we're going to read between the lines, Unilever wants to sell off Ben & Jerry's. It has a CEO who's woke. It's not going to be an easy bargaining chip to sell this off. Unilever's probably in the business of making money. And so they're getting rid and doing everything they can to fluff up, if you will, Ben & Jerry's so that they can get top dollar when they sell it. See if we have another one here. We showed you one just like a month ago, probably 6 weeks ago. Let's see. I wonder if it was taken down. Yeah, they had a Ben & Jerry's Resist ice cream. Hold on, I'm looking. I guess it's not going to come up right now, but yeah, well, Unilever, we'll see what happens in the lawsuit. I think if you want to sell a company right now, you should have somebody that's focused on profits, right? Wouldn't you think so? Like, if unless you want to buy a company while they're down and then redo it, I mean, maybe you could do that, but they probably don't want to. Again, Ben & Jerry's not down that much, but you probably don't want to buy a company that for a crazy astronomical price and have to revamp the whole company. And there'd probably be some crazy stuff. Okay, Rick Wilson, we showed you his tweet a little while ago about Tesla, showing the burning Tesla and kill Tesla, save America. Who remembers this? We covered this when it was going on.
Just sit back on the sidelines and say, oh, well, don't worry, this will all work itself out. They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump. Just sit back on the sidelines and say, oh, well, don't worry, this will all work itself.
Well, he is now crying on Blue Cry, perfect place to cry. And he put this after he was promoting terrorism on Tesla. It says, Elon Musk has frozen my Twitter account for 30 days. It says, kill Tesla, save the country was the thing. And it showed Teslas. And I just find that was posted by iMeme0. I just find it interesting that when all is said and done, that this person was only banned for 30 days. I mean, that you got to admit. Now, there is some issues with free speech. We can't even live stream on X, guys, because they have something on my account that will only allow me to live stream from certain services. So I can't do it from Rumble. I can't do it from Prism. I could do it from StreamYard, but again, that was $50 a month, and I don't know if it was worth it. If I made $50 a month streaming on X, I would pay for it. But I just don't. I mean, think about that. The man that owns the social media platform also runs Tesla, and this guy is encouraging others to go destroy Tesla. Act of domestic terrorism, and he only gets a 30-day suspension, and he's crying about it on Blue Sky. I like that. I like that. Breaking, Brandon Velez, a financial systems underwriter, was arrested for keying a Tesla in Fort Collins, Colorado, and attempting to draw a swastika. So how many? I think we showed you this one. If I didn't, I had it saved. Look at this. Oh, look around. Well, he has been that Sentry cam or whatever, Sentry mode works really good. So here it is. Arrest location was 221 South College Avenue. So this is all public information you can find on the internet. He was born in 3/24 of 1998, 26 years old. He was arrested by Fort Collins police, and it was for criminal mischief, 2 to 5,000. Additional charge, it looks like, is something else. It doesn't say criminal mischief, so a couple charges there. And man, I don't think you want that on your record when you go apply for things. And he's an underwriter, a financial systems underwriter. These are the people that are a little triggered, folks. A little triggered. Check this one. This was from Laura Loomer. This is part of the Tesla takedown watchdog instead of watchdog. It says Boston Tesla takedown organizer identified as Paula Oaks, a Democrat music teacher at a public school in Wellesley, Massachusetts. So they're going to be getting all these people as information, and it's going to be great. We're actually getting some of that information on some of those Dublin folks over there, and we'll also be doing some exposés. Paula Oaks of Roslindale, Massachusetts, a violin teacher at Wellesley Public Schools, has been organized Tesla takedowns against Elon Musk and recently posted 2 concerning statements on her pro-democracy project Facebook page that warrant prompt review and attention by law enforcement. Paula Oaks is the admin of the Facebook page called Pro Democracy Project. In one of her posts, in which she encouraged people to show up at the Tesla takedown protest she organized on 3/16/25 in Boston, she noted that acts of vandalism and arson had occurred at Tesla showrooms, but she herself was not resorting to arson just yet, with an emoji face grin. The statement was copied from her Facebook post. And it says, since Congress has abdicated its authority, it is up to us to rise up and resist the authoritarian takeover of the federal government. In that spirit, I have joined the Tesla Takedown Movement, a group of self-appointed organizers who are hosting protests at Tesla dealerships across the country. On Sunday, March 16th, from 12 to 2, I am hosting an I Didn't Vote for Elon protest at the Tesla dealerships. So it goes on. Let's take a look at this is Paula Oaks. Yeah, she looks like one. Created the Pro Democracy Project in November. Just that's funny. Just a couple days after the election. Violin teacher, huh? 1998 to present. Also a violin substitute at the Boston Ballet Orchestra. There have been several incidents of vandalism and property damage at Tesla dealerships, and in France, they simply burned the first Tesla dealership to the ground. I am not resorting to arson just yet, but will do everything in my power to resist Elon and Doge's ransacking of the federal government. These people are absolutely out of their mind. This is crazy, folks. Crazy. I don't know who does this stuff. Let's see what else we got. Okay, here's what I want to show you. I want you to listen to this, and I want to have a little conversation with y'all. Check this out. This was Ted Cruz, The Verdict podcast, and he had Elon Musk. You can go watch the whole thing. I found it on Twitter, but you can find or I found it on X, but you can probably find it in a whole lot of other places. Take a listen.
Ask AI. In 10 years, how is life going to be different because of AI for just a normal person?
Well, 10 years is a long time. In 10 years, probably AI could do anything better than a human can cognitively. Probably almost, I think in 10 years, based on the current rate of improvement, AI will be smarter than the smartest human. Yeah. There will also be a massive number of robots. So humanoid robots.
By the way, I got to ask, how come your robots look so much like the creepy robots for my robot? Was that intentional or just...
I was hoping he was going to say, yeah, just to mess with you.
It's not meant to look like any prior robot. We'll iterate the design. You'll be able to have a lot of the robot parts are cosmetic. You'll be able to switch out the kind of snap-on cosmetic parts of the robot, make it look like something else if you'd like.
Mm-hmm.
So there'll be ultimately billions of humanoid robots. All cars will be self-driving.
In 10 years?
In 10 years, probably 90% of miles driven will be autonomous.
Huh.
Wow.
That fast?
Yeah. In 5 years, probably 50% of all miles driven will be autonomous.
Now, if AI will be smarter than any person, how many jobs go away because of that? And what do people do if you've got millions of people that are losing their jobs? Like that, a lot of people are understandably freaked out about that.
Well,
Listen,
goods and services will become as close to free. So
goods and services will become close to free. Listen to this, because this is serious stuff.
it's not as though people will be wanting in terms of goods and services.
So why is that? Why are goods and services free in an AI world or close to free?
Well, you have, I don't know, call it tens of billions of robots. That they will make you anything or provide any service you want for basically next to nothing. It's not that people will have a lower standard of living; they'll have actually a much higher standard of living. The challenge will be fulfillment. How do you derive fulfillment and meaning in life?
Is Skynet real? Like you get the apocalyptic visions of AI. How real is the prospect of killer robots annihilating humanity?
20% likely, maybe
Wow.
10%.
On what time frame?
5 to 10 years.
So soon, like you see a world where that's possible.
Yeah, but I mean, you could look at it like the glass is 80, 90% full.
So listen to what they said there. Just a couple things that I've wanted to talk about since I listened to this last night. One of those things is billions of robots in 10 years. They're going to be doing your labor. We talked about it a little bit. They're going to be doing everything that the service industry. Right now, they complain we need illegal aliens to pick grapes. Well, you won't in 7 years. You won't need them for picking vegetables. You won't need them for making or rolling burritos at Taco Bell. And I mean, literally, when you drive through your day, understanding, if you've looked into it, which we have, AI is incredibly smart. And, they already have certain, not robots, but robot arms or AI that can make some of the best pizza in the world. They literally, it's like a 20-foot cargo container. And the only reason it's that big is that's how they have the setup display. And it literally mixes the dough. It puts it in this thing. It rests it for 24 hours. It pulls it out. It puts it on this little conveyor. An arm comes over there, does the sauce. When you order it to how you want, it puts the toppings on. It puts this in this brick oven. It rotates around. By the time it rotates around, the pizza is done like a perfect crisp. It has like all these different cameras to make sure that it's not undercooked, not overcooked. It comes out, it gets put in a box, and it slides out. No humans. So when you think about that, like, there is very few jobs that I can think of, and people are like, well, and I'm thinking futuristic world, very few jobs where, when you think about it, I mean, taxis, Ubers, Lyfts, they're going away. Just today, I think it was California. I don't know if it was Los Angeles only, but California approved the permitting process for autonomous cabs for Elon Musk for the Tesla cabs. So you're going to get into a cab. There's not going to be a driver. And we've been inside these before with the big things on it and all that. I think it was San Francisco. We took a trip in one to test it out. I wasn't scared. I'll be honest. I trust that more than I trust most of these humans driving me around. I'm just going to be honest with you, especially if it's one of those yellow cabs and I can't understand the driver half the time and doesn't smell too great in that cab. I'd rather get into an autonomous vehicle. But what else? What else? What jobs can't be replaced? People say, you know, what one of the things is police. Well, I think you can reduce police a lot. If you're running AI everywhere and you have a vehicle, because it's going to get to this point, there's a license plate reader. You were doing 57 miles an hour and a 50. You don't need police to give you a ticket because we have AI everywhere. You'll get an email right then and there that says, hey, $198 for your ticket for going 7 over. Or even better yet, we've had people like Anthony Weiner who wanted to do beeping and banging alerts if you were speeding. If your car recognized you were in a 55 zone and you were going 60, it would continue to alert you like that stupid seatbelt thing. How about this? That car can't go 60. That car is now autonomous. That car knows that the speed limit is 55. You are not driving that car. It will only go 55. KLM79 says they have robot doctors. I've actually watched a lot of stuff. Some of the most precise surgeries for some very, very critical surgeries, very hard to do surgeries are now being done by robots. Now, they do have doctors in there, but how long do you need the doctor in there? So in 10 years, and I think about it, not for me, but he also said goods and services will be practically free. And because it's not going to cost much to make, these robots are going to go down so much in price. It's going to be the price of, you know, everybody owns a laptop. Everybody owns a computer in their home. 30 years ago, that wasn't the case. They would have to pull out a mortgage on their home to get one. So just thinks when we get to that point, you don't need a gardener anymore. Your robot or somebody's robot, the gardening service robot, will sit there and do it precise. The most perfect lawn job you've ever had. And then what does he say? Listen to the end here.
Maybe
Wow.
10%.
On what time frame? Real? Like you get the apocalyptic visions of AI. How real is the prospect of killer robots annihilating humanity?
20% likely. Maybe
Wow.
10%.
On what time frame?
5 to 10 years.
So soon, like you see a world where that's possible.
And all I want to say is people that don't, and again, I was listening to PBD podcast last night when I was going to bed, and it made me start thinking, had my brain twirling. And what that was, I'm seeing if I got Cade's K-Tech's emails really quick so we can get this going. When people talk about, well, yeah, there's companies out there that want to, and right now, do harmful things. Think about viruses. Those viruses, many of the viruses that you get on computers or whatever, those viruses were created by somebody to do bad things. They want to take you down. They want to get your information. They want to steal that. No different than having a robot. Is that robot stealing from you? Is that robot doing the things? Or better yet, bots in general. Look at all the bots that were promoting Democrats. They were programmed to do that online. Let's see here. Hey, Kay, did you send that over? Let me know if you send that over. I am still not showing an email from you, and I want to get this taken care of while we're on this live. So let me know in the chat. So it's something to look into. And if you guys haven't, there's all kind of different stuff out there about AI. And again, I trust Elon when it comes to his worries about that, because he said, I want regulation into AI. We need to regulate AI. And not only do we need to regulate AI, we need to absolutely ensure that we are ahead of everybody else in AI. He said in 10 years, it's going to be more dominant, more powerful than the human. So we need to do something. Let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm showing the last. Let me see. 319. I'll have to pull up something else. Give me 1 second. I want to get this taken care of while we're here. We got more of a show to go, but let me pull this off. Last email, 404. Let me go to my junk box. See if we put Kate in the junk box. We'll look at that here in a minute. Now, check this out. The left is using something right now. Jerome Powell came out today and said he's not lowering interest rate. He's not doing any of that. There it is. I got you. The left saying, well, guess what? That's because of Trump. Listen to what he says. Listen to Jerome Powell right here talk about something that really hasn't happened.
Okay, so how much of it is tariff?
How much of the higher inflation forecast for this year is due to tariffs? And since the policy path remains the same, are you effectively reading this as a one-time price level shock?
Okay, so how much of it is tariff? So let me say that it is going to be very difficult to have a precise assessment of how much of inflation is coming from tariffs and from other, and that's already the case. You may have seen that goods inflation moved up pretty significantly in the first 2 months of the year. Trying to track that back to actual tariff increases, given what was tariffed and what was not, very, very challenging. So
that's funny. He's talking about our actual inflation is down. What he's talking about is companies saying, well, hey, the fake news is telling me prices are going up, so I'm going to raise my prices now. Your prices haven't gone up. The supplier is not paying more for any product right now. So if you're seeing a price increase, and again, businesses do that, it doesn't mean speculation is huge in the market. Speculation makes the world go round when it comes to stock markets and pricing. But for him to go out and say this, I just thought it was kind of interesting because, you know, this is the Federal Reserve, and to try to say that the last 2 months. Now, I don't know about you, but please answer this question truthfully. Has anything gone up in your daily or weekly or monthly purchases? I can tell you, honest to God, no, my gas has gone down even though I'm in California. I noticed some of you got $2.99 and I'm jealous. I think there was a $2.64 and was it Arkansas or somewhere like that? Eggs are now 3 something when they were can't remember, $1.50 more in December before Trump took office. It just, again, I can't find anything that's gone up. And I do the shopping with Rachel. I love to go shopping because I love to cook. So I like to pick out different stuff each time. And again, I have a buyer's background. I was a purchasing manager. So I remember numbers and prices. I can tell you, man, that cereal was $4.29 last week. Now it's $4.69. It's just how my brain works. And I haven't seen any of that yet. But listen, let's see what he says here. You got a couple more seconds.
Some of it. The answer is clearly some of it. A good part of it is coming from tariffs, but we'll be working, and so will other forecasters, to try to find the best.
Everything's a forecast right now. Instead of going off the history. And again, the tariffs would be easy to take care of. And you know what that means? Let's stop the fentanyl from Mexico and Canada. There's your tariffs there. Have free trade or some type of trade with China. I mean, China, you kind of need a tariff. So if you're buying something for $1.99 because it's made by a 6-year-old child in China, well, I don't care if you pay $3.99 so we can make it here in the United States. That's what's bringing back manufacturing. Let me do something really quick. I'm going to send. Let's see. Just getting something to our buddy K Tex. Do this. There we go. Make sure he gets it before we get off live stream. Hopefully that won't go in my junk mail anymore. I should have looked at that earlier. There's all kind of stuff in my junk mail that I haven't looked at. What else do we got? Check this out. Not good. Not good.
Tuesday night, Rick is off Gray Hall.
Democrat mayor. Take a listen to this. Gina.
But Burlington County Township is facing charges after police say she was driving under the influence with her 2-year-old in the car. Police say driving erratically, and an open container of alcohol, they say, was in the vehicle. Tonight, her family is asking for grace, saying she needs help. Tuesday night, Rick is off. Gray Hall is joining us. The big story on Action News is the arrest of Lumberton's mayor.
Investigators say she was driving impaired yesterday, and police were made aware of this incident because of a witness recording video showing the mayor driving in a way that was dangerous to other people out there on the road.
New Jersey correspondent Trish Hartman is live for us in Lumberton. And Trish, you had a chance to speak with the mayor's husband today.
I did, and he tells me that she is now entering treatment after this. Court records say Mayor Gina LaPlaca picked up her toddler from daycare, and the child was allegedly in the car as she drove while under the influence. Lumberton's mayor, Gina LaPlaca, has been charged with driving under the influence and endangering a child in the car with her.
Gina is someone who has struggled and is now getting that help that she needs. I ask that everyone keep her in their thoughts as she moves forward on her road to recovery.
According to court documents, a witness took video yesterday of a driver unable to stay in their lane and nearly hitting a utility pole. Police located that vehicle at the home of Gina LaPlaca, where she allegedly admitted to officers that she had been drinking and had recently picked up her 2-year-old from daycare. Court documents also say an open container of alcohol was found in the car. LaPlaca's husband told Action News she's now seeking treatment for addiction.
Gina's a loving and caring mother and stepmother. Our oldest is a teenager, can see all the unkind things online. And I just simply ask that you respect our privacy.
LaPlaca was elected to Township Committee in 2020 and reelected in 2023. She recently left her position as business administrator for Neptune Township, her husband said, for political reasons. We spoke with folks about the allegations against her.
You don't really know what someone is owing like through behind closed doors. Anybody else, they'd probably like be in jail maybe or something like that. So I feel like that should be the consequence.
Well, here's what I think. Again, I hate that whether Republican or Democrat, just because she's Democrat is not the reason I'm saying this. But you're driving with a child in your car. You pick up your child drunk from daycare. One, that's child endangerment. Where's that charge? And two, again, where's the resignation? Just because you're going to treatment doesn't mean anything. You need to step away. Again, you are a mayor. That town needs somebody there to step in. That just because you go to treatment, you're not fixed. These people with these addictions and stuff, it could take, some people it takes a long time, but they even say when you quit doing something that's addictive, alcohol, drugs, anything, and you're in sobriety, not to even make any big decisions for 1 year because you are still getting used to your sober lifestyle. So we'll see where that comes from. We got Mom X Swift in the house. Hello, Mom. And again, you're supposed to be a leader. You're supposed to be someone to look up to. So I've done wrong. I'm going to step down. But again, double standard. I seen this the other day. I seen this today. I want to show you this news article. I helped them. I reposted it. It says officials in Austin, Texas are reacting to the release of a video appearing to show a transgender woman being thrown to the ground by police during her arrest earlier this month. So let me fix that for them. Officials in Austin, Texas are reacting to the release of a video appearing to show a man being thrown to the ground by police during her arrest earlier this month. There's no such thing as transgender women. They could have said someone with maybe mental health disability. Let's see what it looks like here. If it'll even play. Ooh, ABC News has a slow website. So we'll wait for this dumb ad to play, and we'll show you a man being thrown to the ground. Happens all the time. Police throw people down all the time.
Put your hands behind your back. Do it now. Police, you're under arrest.
Oh, he just assaulted someone.
Put your hands behind your back. Do it now.
Oh my gosh. If this person wasn't trans, nobody would even be talking about this. Hats off to the Austin Police Department. I don't like police brutality or anything. I don't like officers being rough with people when they don't have to. He literally walked up when the guy was assaulting somebody. Yes, you take down the perpetrator. That's just what you're taught to do. It says, we have seen an upsetting video shared online and dated March 2nd showing a man, they say trans woman, being violently thrown to the pavement by an Austin police officer. City council members Jose Velasquez and Mike Siegel said in a joint statement. Well, you need to get rid of Jose Velasquez and Mike Siegel. Let me tell you that right now. We have taken steps to ensure that this excessive use of force is investigated properly and that appropriate action is taken to ensure. I don't care if it was a woman. I don't care if that was my daughter. Take her down. She's assaulting somebody. She's physically assaulting somebody. Stop the assault. We're going to show you that again. Guys, this is funny. It says, in the police body cam footage reviewed by ABC News, the woman appears to try to hit someone standing against a building wall. Police approached the woman, blowing their whistles, bringing her to the ground and handcuffed her. It's exactly what I seen. Says Austin police said in a statement released on March 18th that the March 2nd incident occurred at approximately 2:30 a.m. at the intersection of 6th and Nietzsche Street. Law enforcement said they observed a physical disturbance in a crowd of people before identified an intoxicated individual in a black dress that was attempting to engage in physical confrontation. APD said officers blew their whistles to get the crowd to disperse, according to their statement. So even if these people didn't know that, like that cop don't say, oh, that's trans. Let's look at it one more time. This is hilarious. Look at boom, assault, take down. He's trying to get away. He's trying to get away.
Put your hands behind your back. Do it now.
That was absolutely beautiful. Out of all the things we have seen from police footage, I think that video should be used in training videos to officers around the country. Because it's just that one time you let that person get away and they pull a knife out and stab somebody else or a police officer. Check this out. This video right here. Washington State Mayor. Listen to this, Mayor. He violated what rule is that in the board meetings? Oh man. I'll think about it in a minute. But listen to this. Listen to this
people out of
mentally ill activist.
82,000 Americans who are registered as POWs and 82,000 Americans who are registered as POWs or MIAs, which is atrocious and horrible, and it should never happen to any American. But there's 20 million minimum LGBTQ members. So when we're talking about special interest, let's just have some intellectual integrity. I've talked before about the hypocrisy of some of the people up on that dais, and I think that your approach to trying to trick people out of having to fly the pride flag in June by making sure that the POW MIA flag was flown is really disgusting. And again, it's not impartial in any way. And I think that you should be ashamed. I definitely am. Thank you.
It's not common that I respond to public comment, but I will not sit here and have somebody tell me that veterans are a political stunt. How dare you? This country was founded because veterans lost their lives. Hundreds of thousands of people died for this country so that you could fly your pride flag. And man, I am pissed. I'm sorry. This is out of line, and perhaps my council members will censure me for this, but do not ever disparage veterans in my presence, right? Those 82,000 people who never came home will never have a chance to have a family or grow up while you can fly your pride flag. They sacrificed their lives all over the world for America and for freedom around the world. I tolerate your comments, which are always on the attack, and all in your libelous comments on Facebook. I tolerate it because, you know, you probably can't help yourself, but don't ever disparage veterans in front of me. Don't ever disparage veterans in front of me, and we're done. Okay, next up on public comment.
I love that. I love that. It reminds me, if you guys didn't watch last night, that mayor last night who made the what do they call it? Declaration. I'm tired. My brain is shot. Ah, man. Anyways, thank you for standing up, Mayor. And again, we need more great people like that. Anybody that compares the LGBT cult to prisoners of war just goes along with their mental illness. This was police block pro-Palestine protesters as they attempt to go into the Oculus World Trade Center. Take a look.
No one's going in there. We're going to block the doors. Forget it. No one's going in here. The street march, go ahead. No more in here, guys. going in there. No one else is going in there.
Nobody's having it.
No one's going in there, folks. Keep marching.
And these deportations can't happen fast enough. And again, most of those people are white liberals. But it's just disgusting. They were also here chanting, listen to their Donald Trump chant. This is out of Trump building in Lower Manhattan. We've been there together, guys. We had a Trump rally there in Lower Manhattan after.
Donald Trump, you can't hide. Donald Trump, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. We charge you with genocide. Donald Trump, you will see. Donald Trump, you will see. Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free. Donald Trump, you can't hide. Donald Trump, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. We charge you with genocide. Donald Trump, you will see. Donald Trump, you will see. Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free. Donald Trump, you can't hide. Donald Trump, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. We charge you with genocide. Donald Trump, you will see. Donald Trump, you will see. Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free.
And there'll be more of that today. It looks like Laura Loomer's posted this, said happening tonight at the White House. They're saying, stop bombing Yemen. Stand with Yemen as Yemen stands with Palestine. Wednesday, March 19th, Lafayette Square at 6 p.m. And the typical Marxists are all involved in that. It's just, I don't know, guys. We got to have some fun. Now, listen, I didn't hear about this right away, but I was been reading into it, and I want to show you something. The Colorado girl, 73, posted that. She was wearing a Make America Healthy Again hat at the gym, and I want you to see what happened. It says, verbally and physically accosted for my hat. Literally minding my own business, working out, and an unhinged man came up and verbally accosted me, screaming at me 4 inches from my face, calling me every name in the book, effing B, then hit my hat twice. He got applause from folks nearby. I asked him if they like men hitting women. I stood my ground. 2 gentlemen came to my rescue. He then stopped because of them, not before calling them effing thugs. Police were called. They are assessing the situation now. The rec center staff apologized to him on the stairs and sat with him for 15 minutes. Meanwhile, I was the one that he accosted. So much for protecting women. City of Durango, Durango Recreation Club. So there's more to this story. Check this out. So obviously she has a red hat with white lettering that says Make America Healthy Again, and she was in the damn gym. First off, I just want you all to know the best way to get healthy is the gym. I know during COVID, Democrats told you it was to get an injection and eat a Krispy Kreme donut that you get for free by injecting something that was experimental in you. That's not the truth. That's not the truth, just in case you were wondering. So she posted some other stuff, and there is an update to this. It said, read this comment to understand the mindset of Durango, Colorado. Let me pull this up. It says, City of Durango government. Over the weekend, an altercation occurred between several patrons in the weight room at the Durango Community Recreation Center. Initial reports say a woman was wearing a hat with a political slogan, and confrontation ensued with a man. While staff were not present at the time of the incident, they responded immediately upon notification by contacting law enforcement and ensuring all involved parties remained on site. Durango Parks and Recreation is committed to maintaining a safe and inclusive environment for all patrons. This incident is currently under investigation. Look at one of the comments. This is from City of Durango, Cheryl Stevens. Maybe he felt he could accost her because men have been told that they can by the president. We have a president that has sexually assaulted women, and he says it's acceptable behavior. Should this man have sexually assaulted her instead of verbally confronting her? This person was literally triggered because it was a red hat, because he has a mental illness, because he is probably a waste of oxygen on this earth. But again, Gina Roberts, congrats on the comment. You really care. Again, oh my God, he touched a woman. Oh, that woman had a red hat on? Well, maybe she deserved it. There's also another post here, and then I'll give you an update from the police department. Where was this one? The actual local newspaper. Listen to this. The Durango Herald scoured my social media and decided to share about a pro-life t-shirt I once wore to the gym. Why I loved it was that it made our community realize there are other views here. There are people who think different, and that's okay. Says, we need to learn to have a cordial conversation again. This is exactly like the Fresno Bee ABC 30. Remember, ABC 30 was standing right next to me while they were ignoring the Pledge of Allegiance last night at the city council meeting in Porterville. And this is exactly what they do. Fresno Bee does this whenever they can. Oh, this person's on the right. Let's go through their social media and see if they've ever said anything about being pro-life or anything. Instead of saying, hey, who's the guy that accosted this woman while she's trying to work out? That's all we need to know. What is he being charged with? He hit her hat twice. And it says, I see so many progressive trans flags, pro Ruth Bader Ginsburg t-shirts, pro-choice, Black Lives Matter, Make America Mexico Again, whatever that means, and anti-Trump t-shirts. But the other side can't wear a shirt. We can agree to disagree on issues, but we need to be respectable. We can't have violence. We can protest, but we do it peacefully. This is America. When the Durango Herald was scouring my social media, they didn't mention the woman in the area that said I could have been raped instead, which I view as a dog whistle. And why would they let that type of comment slide? They were more concerned about my pro-life t-shirt that some people didn't like, and I loved, because they saw there were other views peacefully. I don't condone violence or what appears to be rape threats against anyone, even if I don't like their political views. Listen, this is literally what the newspaper, in a previous post, which featured a photo of Lake at the recreation center wearing a shirt that said post-Roe generation. Lake wrote, this t-shirt made them apoplectic, and I love it. Efforts to reach Lake Tuesday were unsuccessful. So I think there's some outrage because it says update. This was an update from yesterday. Update. Thank you for everyone who shared my assault far and wide. The police chief called me, and Durango Police has assigned a detective for a full investigation. The main assault was not caught on video footage. That corner did not have coverage. The police chief asked if I would give him the opportunity to conduct a thorough investigation, and I said I would. The Durango rec also reached out and wants to make this right. I was told that the assistant deputy director said that the rec center is a public service for everyone of all backgrounds. Everyone should feel safe. I will give her an opportunity to demonstrate this. To make the assault that day more profound, it was my first day back into the gym after breast cancer surgery. I was looking forward to a good workout to clear my head and never expected I would be in the position to physically defend myself. I told both the police chief and the rec center that I would be wearing my hat going forward because making America healthy again is personal to me. The only treatment I can get through the Department of Veteran Affairs, so this is a veteran, folks, has to be FDA approved. And we all know Big Pharma can't make money and patient it. It won't get FDA approved. I should mention I am very healthy and crunchy. I would make a hippie blush. Says, I have worn this hat since the first assassination attempt on Trump last July. Every day to the gym. No one has ever said a word to my face. Lots of dirty looks, snickers, mumbling that I ignored, but no direct comments. I'm polite, I'm friendly, and I won't be taking this hat off. say, a veteran battling breast cancer, and of course the local newspaper, well, she's pro-life. I hope she is. She wants to live, folks. She wants to live. And I told you guys, these incidences are going to be ramping up constantly. These people are unhinged. They cannot control their emotions. They do not have any coping mechanisms that the real world has to deal with every day. And so we were going to be seeing that happen. Check this out, guys, really quick. Let's load this up. Weak coffee is for the weak, and at Rumble, weak has never been part of the mission. No fillers, no fraud, and no settling for mediocrity. Just like 1775 coffee. In single origin, small form, hand-picked, specialty grade coffee that stands for quality, free speech, and calling out BS when it matters. Forget stale, mass-produced beans, roasted just enough to hide the flaws. Dark roast hits like a Trump tariff. Medium roast keeps it bold without the bitterness. And Vitality Mushroom Blend, real energy and lasting focus, no synthetic garbage. For K-Cup pods, whole beans, our fresh ground coffee, go to 1775coffee.com. Use code STUDIO for 15% off and start your morning with coffee that stands for something. Oh, and every dollar spent enters you to win a Cybertruck and $30,000 cash. Man, I want that Cybertruck. I want that Cybertruck more, and I want that $30,000 cash, guys. So go check it out, 1775 Coffee, guys. What else do we got rolling here? We're already an hour, 2 minutes in. This is what I talked to you guys. Listen to this. This was on Piers Morgan Uncensored. Natalie Winters absolutely destroys this. Watch this. Calling him a grifter and everything. Come on, load up. I might have to reload it. Yep, it's going to make me reload it. Give me 1 second.
Wanted to go down in history as someone that colluded with the Clinton campaign to take down President Donald J. Trump. But I really think that you represent probably the ultimate grifter in the American political space. For you to even come on here, obviously you're trying to sabotage what President Trump is doing when it comes to Russia and Ukraine. But to sit here, what is it, nearly a decade after you tried to smear President Trump as a Russian asset, to then say, well, I think he's a Russian asset, but even though I'm really good at my job and create all these intelligence reports, it's just sort of a feeling that I have. I'm sorry, what stones do you even have left to turn over to try to corroborate your claim that President Trump is a Russian asset? You what? Weaponized FISA courts, surveillance, warrants, not just domestic spy agencies, international spy agencies too, the entire DNC apparatus, a bunch of political operatives and registered foreign agents here in the United States. The American people would really appreciate it if you would stop injecting your efforts to curtail and totally tank the America First movement by smearing anyone who doesn't want to get involved in forever wars or continue the needless and ceaseless dying of in Ukraine and in Russia, just so you can sit there from your nice perch and just continue to defend the globalist world order by continuing to fan the flames of conflict in Russia and Ukraine. And you know what? The same people that you ally yourself with here in the United States, you think you're so good at gathering intelligence. Last time I checked, it was the 51 intel agency officers, spies, who said that the Hunter Biden hard drive, which I've reported on firsthand, it's legitimate. You want to talk about president's sons who are involved in businesses with foreign countries? Well, I'd like to introduce you to Hunter Biden, right? When those 51 people that I'm sure that you know all too well, you were probably likely involved with the drafting of that letter, said that was Russian disinformation. Well, it turned out that that was true, and shame on you for the last decade trying to inject the idea that smearing President Trump as a Russian agent or a Russian asset is somehow going to tank the MAGA movement. It's about putting America first, and the fact that you can still sit here and you have no actual evidence beside one random Russian meeting, and oh, we need to just continue to get more evidence. You're a complete political hack and grifter, and I wish the American political scene didn't have your voice in it.
All right. Well, Christopher Steele, you're about to leave us because you're only here for this part of the panel. But your response finally to that?
My response is that I'm a professional intelligence officer and an expert on that part of the world. I'm not a politician.
Was the Hunter Biden hard drive Russian disinformation then, if you're such an expert?
Let him
finish. Let him finish. So I've been
I
a
don't think you
loyal
answered my
and
question.
close ally of the United States for probably most of the last 40 years. I've worked extremely closely with officials working for administrations, both Republican and Democrat. I have a very strong US client base for which I've worked and produced information over many years, none of whom have ever made any such allegation against me. And it's palpable nonsense to claim that I'm in hoc with
I'm so
politicians.
glad the Clinton campaign didn't say that about you.
Well, I never worked for the Clinton campaign. I never had any contact with the Clinton campaign. That's the reality of it.
Oh, you're a subcontractor.
I think Fusion
It's the same
GPS would
thing.
beg to
I
differ.
produced a report for a partner firm in Washington, and the results of that report.
Man, like, I don't think that guy should show his face anywhere. Again, a liar, a grifter, a scumbag, an anti-American, and a fraud. Natalie Winters killed that. Absolutely killed that. That's something as an American to be proud of. So I have a question for this person, Rep. John Larson. Rep. John Larson says the Trump administration wants to gut the Environmental Protection Agency and roll back decades of progress to combat climate change and support clean air and water. Now, obviously, he says House Democrats are demanding answers on what these cuts will mean for our environment and the communities we represent. So there's a couple things I wanted to see here, and I'll show you his post here. It says roll back decades of progress to combat climate change. So what was this progress, Rep. John Larson? So we've spent billions, trillions of dollars on climate change. We still blame every natural disaster, every fire in California that was made by a bum or a homeless person on climate change. What decades of progress did we get out of this? Absolutely none. Another we're going to scream here. I think this one isn't going to get as bad as the Medicaid one. We'll see. We'll know in about a week if they all get together and they hold their little mic right here and they do their little TikTok video and say, you know what? And all say the same thing. But this is laughable. Again, billions, regulations, and oh my God, they say the climate is still warming. Actual scientists that aren't paid through grants said, no, we're not entering global warming. So what do they say now? Oh, it's climate change. It's going up and down, just like it has the entire time the world's been around. Check this out. 26 attorney generals filed a brief supporting the immediate deportation of violent Tren de Aragua gang members. Meanwhile, Democrats are crying that foreign terrorists are getting deported. So check this out. This is that right there. And it has South Carolina. Who else? Virginia. Let's see who's on the other page. Montana, Missouri, Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Oklahoma, Ohio, North Dakota. So 26 attorney generals filed a brief supporting what President Trump is doing, which is making your America safer by getting out these criminal gang members that are in the country illegally. It's pretty plain and simple. And I thought this was excellent too. So we have some GOP people that are support impeaching these radical judges. We've showed you articles of impeachment that were, 2 days ago for one of the judges. Check this out. Musk donates to GOP members of Congress who support impeaching judges. It says, amid a controversy over whether President Trump will abide by court rulings, Elon Musk gave the maximum to the campaigns of Republicans who backed ousting judges who impede the administration. Some of those were Brandon Gill, Chuck Grassley, Derek Van Oden, Andrew Clyde, Andy Ogles, Lauren Boebert, and Eli Crane. So, I love it. Now we got another one. I think we might have shared a win earlier in the show. If we didn't, I think we might share it this one. I can't remember. Exclusive USA Today. Trump to sign order Thursday aimed at eliminating the education department. The Department of Education This is another one. It says Trump will direct his education secretary, Linda McMahon, to take all necessary steps to facilitate the closure of the Department of Education. Now we're going to get activist judges that says, hey, I'm president today. I decide what's going on. But I cannot believe this. This was something that I haven't prayed for it for a while, but back in 2015, 2016, I prayed for it a lot because I was in that rabbit hole of the Department of Education. I was learning about what they did and what they didn't do. This is going to be huge. How many remember this video here? I think it was. Oh, no, maybe I don't have it. Let me see. Oh, I had a video up when he announced it originally. Let me do this, see if this is what I got to do. I think it's right here.
And I will shut down the federal Department of Education, and we will move everything back to the states where it belongs and where they can individualize education and do it with the love for their children.
So promise is made, promise is kept. That will be tomorrow. So we will be covering that on the show tomorrow. What else do we got for you? We played this earlier, and I just want to show you this because I think this is the win, the little win that we were talking about when the left came out with all these lies. And I got a crack out of this one. Let's see.
Individuals at Doge, at Elon Musk.
On the United States Institute of Peace, this is a little bit wild. The old president refused to leave. After he was removed from his position, he barricaded himself in his offices, had to be escorted out by police, left the building without Wi-Fi, telephones, elevators, and more, and is now telling media that Doge broke in and illegally removed him. So can you comment on this sequence of events and specify, did Doge illegally enter?
I'm really glad you brought this up, Mary. We were made aware of this story by individuals at Doge, at Elon Musk's team, and also at the State Department who were unable to access this building. And it became very clear that there was a concerted effort amongst the rogue bureaucrats at the United States Institute of Peace to actually physically barricade themselves essentially inside of the building to prevent political appointees of this administration who work at the direction of the President of the United States to get into the building. There was a piece in the Daily Caller, thank you for sharing the truth on this, about what happened. Staff contacted the MPD in an attempt to prevent Doge personnel from entering. They barricaded the doors. They also disabled telephone lines, internet connections, and other IT infrastructure within the building. They distributed flyers internally, encouraging each other to basically prevent these individuals from accessing the building. I use this to say this is what Doge and this administration is facing. It's a resistance from bureaucrats who don't want to see change in this city. President Trump was elected on an overwhelming mandate to seek change and implement change, and this is unacceptable behavior.
Could you believe that? Like in any normal world, those people would be arrested. This is just crazy, but check this out. I seen this on CBS News. A federal judge on Wednesday declined to block the Trump administration's efforts to take over the U.S. Institute of Peace while a legal challenge to President Trump's actions targeting the nonprofit organization moves forward. Always NGOs, always nonprofits. They are the bureaucracy. Again, the cash cows getting exposed. And we're going to have some backlash on that too. They're going to farm out another lawsuit to one of their dictator judges. Then this was from Pam Bondi. I think it was this country. Morning or last night.
Our lawyers are working on this. We will answer appropriately, but what I will tell you is this judge has asked those questions. You have one unelected federal judge trying to control foreign policies, trying to control the Alien Enemies Act, which they have no business presiding over. And there are 261 reasons why Americans are safer now. That's because those people are out of this country. The judge had no business, no power to do what he did. And Will, he came in on an emergency basis on a Saturday with very, very short notice, if any, to our attorney to run in the courtroom. You know, and this has been a pattern with these liberal judges. You just spoke about that. It's been a pattern with what they've been doing. This judge had no right to do that. They're meddling in foreign affairs. They're meddling in our government. And the question should be, why is a judge trying to protect terrorists who have invaded our country over American citizens? You know, TDA is a terrorist organization. They are organized. They have a government structure within them. They are sending money not only throughout this country to each other, but back to Venezuela. They are a terrorist organization, and we are not going to have that in our country. We are going to deport them, and we're going to continue to deport them. We will honor what the court says, but we will appeal, and we will continue to fight terrorists within our country, Will.
Just insane, right? Just insane, guys. What we're dealing with as a country. Activist judges. Let's see what else we have up here. Speaking of, check out, I want to see if you guys, I'm going to look who gets it first in the comments. This is Texas DPS post. DPS troopers working Operation Lone Star responded to a request for an assistance regarding 2 male subjects along Highway 83 near Roma Middle School. Upon arrival, troopers determined the male subjects were special interest illegal aliens from Kazakhstan who had just unlawfully entered the country across the Rio Grande. Both special interest illegal immigrants were referred to Border Patrol. What do you notice in this picture? I just want to see who the first person that does it is, and it might take a minute because we're a little delay. Let's see who gets it first. What do you notice there? Nope. Not the cell phone. Something else that we used to spot a lot of. You got to know it by now. You got to know it by now. The NGO bags, guys. Can't believe none of you got that. The same red bags. Yes, K-Texas seen it. Texas Bookfoot says, look like Kevin. No, actually, this one right here on the left, kind of looks like a little brother to the person that needs a security guard when they go outside of facilities. You know, the one that runs his mouth. I wonder if that person's also on Instagram with illegal aliens so he can hook up. But no, it's the red bag, guys. The red bag. You know it. And want to say thank you guys for tuning in today. Appreciate you. Thank you for sharing this out. Please hit that like button. If you want to contribute, you like what we do, you appreciate the content, you appreciate the travel, please head over to Venmo at Oreo Josh or Cash App $Oreo Army. GiveSendGo.com/Oreo 2024. Again, your blessing is what keeps us going. We appreciate you. We want to say thank you to you all. And again, without you guys, none of this is possible. We have some stuff coming up that you'll like to hear about too. Possibly something tomorrow. I don't know. I got to look into it, but possibly something tomorrow. And again, if you guys want to go to our donation links or to our website to buy a shirt, whatever, head over to theoreoexpress.com. Scroll down and there's a donate now button. Again, guys, thank you for keeping us on the air. We appreciate you. We will see you tomorrow. If there's any news that breaks tonight, we will come back live. We'll be at the studio. God bless.